I'm going to do a product review. It's of the Aputure B7C 7-watt multicolour smart bulb. Here's one here. Disclaimer. Aputure actually did send me a couple of these to try. Now, for those of you who think that taking something out of its box is more important than the product itself, here is the box. Now, onto the product. So rather than just talking about these bulbs and how amazing they are and how if I ever got a chance to use them, I'm sure they'd be fantastic, I actually use them on set. So on the show I've just finished, we were using Astera bulbs, and my gaffer and I thought it'd be interesting to put these up against each other. Here are some notes. Using one of those newfangled color meters, the Astera and the Aputure are very, very similar in daylight mode, with an accuracy of around 96.4 at 5600. In tungsten, 3200, color accuracy of the Astera is slightly better at 98.1 compared to 94.4 of this baby. However, it's still pretty good. And to be quite honest, on set I couldn't see the difference, and neither could my Alexa Mini. They get hot. According to the website, they're passively cooled, as opposed to aggressively. As far as brightness is concerned, in tungsten and daylight, the Asteras and the Aputures are about the same. When you put them into a primary color mode, the Aputures are much brighter than the Asteras. They have a battery. The Asteras do not. It's supposed to last for about 70 minutes at full power, but I didn't get a chance to test that. However, you can set it so the battery takes over when mains is turned off or not. So if you're doing a gag where you need to turn the lights off, the light doesn't inconveniently turn itself back on again by a battery. There are controls on the front. Turning it on, changing color temperature. There's 4 or 5 presets. You can dim it on the bulb itself. That's cool. It charges itself when plugged in. It takes a couple of hours. However, if you have it plugged in all day, then the battery is always going to be charged. There is an app. There are some caveats. When you first download it, you have to sign up, and it can take up to half an hour for a verification code to be sent through. And if you're on set and you're running around trying to get them going, this is not the time to do it. So be forewarned about that. And occasionally it seems that you have to keep signing in to keep using the app, which again is very dull, especially if you're on set without a good internet connection. There is a paid version of the app, which I haven't used, but seems to add multiple users and more complex scene scenarios, other stuff. The basic app, though, is quite good. There is a standard settings, presets, which are available on the bulb as well, 5600. 6500 tungsten. There's an expanded range and a standard range, which the standard range goes from 2000 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. And the expanded range goes from 1500 Kelvin to 20,000 Kelvin. However, I'm not sure why they've separated it into expanded and standard. Why not just leave it expanded, and then it's more useful? However, there you go. There's a source type, so you can select a source. You can go from tungsten, in this case, or blue sky, high pressure sodium, moonlight. There's a source match, which allows you to use a camera on your iPhone or iPad to match the light to any other color, which is pretty impressive. If you're old school like me, then you can add CTBs or CTOs. You can basically have any color you want, really. There are lighting effects like a 40 bulb, lightning, TV, fire. You get the idea. And you can actually do basic timings on effects if you want, although to do anything more complex you need the paid version of the app. So, for someone like me who's come from using gels and whenever you dim a light the light gets warmer, this is heady stuff. It's like the sliding doors in Star Trek. They're finally here. Would I use it on set? Well, I have used it on set and it works very well. It compares favourably to the Astera. It's cheaper. The Astera is like 170 Canadian at the moment, and I believe the Aputure is 100 per bulb. You can get both the Aputure and the Astera bulbs either singly or in kits of 8. With the Aputure bulbs, when you buy a case of 8, the case is also the charger. However, the case with the Astera bulbs comes with a controller which allows you to use it without an app and it also doubles as a battery source. And the Astera bulbs are also DMX, where the Aputure bulbs are not. So would I use this on set? Definitely.